इकोनॉमिक सुधार काफ़ी हुआ है, पर उसके बावजूद प्राइवेट इन्वेस्टमेंट अभी भी थोड़ा स्लो है। कुछ सेक्टर्स ऐसे हैं जो अभी भी ट्रबल में है, जैसे कि रियल एस्टेट सेक्टर हो गया। वेंचर कैपिटल फंडिंग भी थोड़ी स्टार्टअप इकोनॉमी में स्लो हो गई है। तो आप प्राइवेट उद्योग को और फॉरेन इन्वेस्टर्स को क्या संदेश देना चाहेंगे?
मैंने देखा है, शायद आपने विवेक के कारण, मर्यादा के कारण एक ब्लंट सवाल मुझे नहीं पूछा। ज़्यादातर लोग पूछ लेते हैं कि मोदी जी 2.25 साल में ऐसी कौन सी गलती की आपने, आपको लगता है। आज मैं सोचता हूँ तो मुझे लगता है कि मुझे सरकार बनाने के बाद पहला बजट पेश करने से पहले संसद में देश की आर्थिक स्थिति का एक वाइट पेपर रखना चाहिए था। ये विचार भी आया था, लेकिन मेरे सामने 2 रास्ते थे। राजनीति मुझे कहती थी कि मुझे सारा कच्चा चिट्ठा खोल देना चाहिए। राष्ट्रनीति मुझे कहती थी कि पॉलिटिकल तो बहुत लाभ हो जाएगा, लेकिन देश में सब लोग जब इतनी हालत खराब है ये जानकारियां पाएंगे तो पूरी तरह निराशा इतनी आ जाएगी, मार्केट इतना टूट जाएगा, देश की इकोनॉमी को इतना बड़ा धक्का लगेगा, ग्लोबली भी देश को देखने का सोच समझ बदल जाएगा, उसमें से फिर बाहर निकालना मुश्किल हो जाएगा। तो राजनीतिक नुकसान झेल करके भी राष्ट्र के हित में अभी चुप रहना अच्छा है। और उस समय मैंने बैंकों के एनपीए की हाल क्या था, बजट में किस प्रकार से आंकड़े इधर उधर किए गए थे, आर्थिक स्थिति के, ये सारी चीजें मैंने देश के सामने नहीं रखी। हमें नुकसान हुआ, हमारी आलोचना भी हुई, और आज जो कुछ भी वो पाप मैं झेल आगे ढो रहा हूं, वो ऐसा लग रहा है जैसे मेरे कारण है। वो भी मुझे गालियां खानी पड़ रही हैं, लेकिन शायद राजनीतिक नुकसान झेल करके भी राष्ट्रनीति के मार्ग पर जाना मैंने तय किया, और उसका परिणाम यह है कि मैं चीज़ों को ठीक कर पा रहा हूं। कमियां देखते हुए भी अच्छा करने का प्रयास करता हूं। इन सारी चीज़ों का इम्पैक्ट ये प्राइवेट इन्वेस्टमेंट पर नजर आता है। उन पुरानी चीज़ों का बोझ उन पर भी है। एनपीए में वे भी एक हिस्सेदार हैं, क्योंकि पुराने उनके चीज़ें ऐसी है कि बैंक, जब मैंने आने के बाद बैंकों को ठीक करने पर लगा हुआ हूँ। मैंने पहली बार बैंकर्स का चिंतन शिविर किया था, और डूज एंड डोंट्स थे, और मैंने कहा था आप लिख करके रखिए, सरकार में से आप एक फ़ोन नहीं आएगा। तो ये चीज़ों ने काफ़ी स्क्रू टाइट किए हुए हैं। उसके बावजूद भी इतनी तेज़ी से रोड बनना, इतनी तेज़ी से रेलवे का आगे बढ़ना, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में 6 गुना बढ़ोतरी हुई है। तो ये चीज़ें दिखाती हैं कि शॉर्टकट हमने नहीं चुना। और मेरा तो मत है, जो रेलवे प्लेटफॉर्म पे लिखा हुआ होता है ना, शॉर्टकट विल कट यू शॉर्ट, तो मेरा ये मत रहता है कि हमें शॉर्टकट के रास्ते पर नहीं जाना है, और उसके परिणाम नज़र आ रहे हैं। खैर, अब तो स्थिति काफ़ी सुधर गई है, तो वो चिंता का विषय रहा नहीं है। लेकिन मैं बिगिनिंग के दिनों की बात बताता हूँ, 2014 मई जून की। लेकिन मैंने रास्ता, कठिन रास्ता चुना, और देश में जो निष्पक्ष भाव से एनालिसिस करने वाले लोग हैं, वो जब इसका एनालिसिस करेंगे, मुझे विश्वास है कि उनके लिए बहुत बड़ा सरप्राइज होगा।
Well, good afternoon. Welcome to the Council on Foreign Relations. I'm Richard Haass, President of CFR, and I'm delighted today to welcome and introduce a man who needs little introduction, His Excellency Narendra Modi, Prime Minister of India. The Prime Minister, as you all know, and as you've seen in our media, has taken New York City by storm. Madison Square Garden has not seen such excitement since the Knicks last won a championship, which was so long ago that few who were witness are still with us today. Sorry, pardon for the parochial reference to our no longer successful basketball team. The Prime Minister may have come a long way to be with us, but he wasn't the only traveler from India who logged a lot of miles this week. India's Mars orbiter also arrived at its destination just days ago. And my congratulations to the Prime Minister and to all in his country who made this accomplishment possible. Prime Minister Modi is the 6th sitting Prime Minister of India that we here at the Council on Foreign Relations have been fortunate enough to host, and this reflects our long-standing commitment to the study of India, as well as its relations with its neighbors and with the United States. We are especially proud to host the Prime Minister during his first visit to the United States since assuming office following a truly historic election 127 days ago. His party won the first absolute majority in Parliament in 30 years. Voter turnout, and all Americans should pay heed to this, voter turnout was an astounding 550 million individuals. 66% of the electorate went to the polls. And the large mandate garnered from this turnout and outcome ignited a buzz of excitement in India and beyond, and has led to high expectations for change. Now, as many of you know, the Prime Minister ran on a platform that centered on good governance and economic growth and development in India, a message that reflected all he accomplished as Chief Minister in Gujarat. But the Prime Minister will also have more than a little opportunity to focus on India's external relations, including those with this country. As is often remarked upon, India and the United States are the world's 2 largest democracies. The bilateral relationship is potentially one of the most important for the United States. That said, I use the word potentially consciously because we are not yet there. Our relationship is underdeveloped in terms of trade and investment, energy security, and strategic cooperation on both regional issues, including South and East Asia, as well as transnational issues, including terrorism and climate change. And the challenge and the opportunity for both countries, for both the United States and India, is to translate all this potential into reality. I look forward to speaking with the Prime Minister on his plans for India, especially on his plans for its economy, and on the foreign policy and national security challenges he and his countries face. First, however, the Prime Minister will deliver some remarks, and he'll do so in Hindi. For those of you who are not yet fluent in Hindi, there are headphones. Afterwards, Prime Minister and I will sit down in conversation for a few minutes before we open it up to our members for additional questions. And I want to let everyone know that this meeting is on the record. So with that, again, I want to welcome Prime Minister Modi to the Council on Foreign Relations and invite him up here to this podium to deliver his remarks. Sir.
Dr. Richard Haass, and all the respected guests here. Five previous prime ministers have had the opportunity to talk to you in this hall before. I am the number 6. For the last 3 days, I've been in your city, and the encouragement and love and affection that I have got. For that, I'm very grateful to this city and for US, and I express my gratitude from my heart. Especially the tradition of CFR, which has created its own credibility, and I would like to congratulate it for that they do not impose their own ideas. They listen to the ideas. They listen to the ideas of all the aspects and then present them before the world. And they leave it to the world that these are the different ideas, these are the different aspects. You judge what is right and what's wrong. I believe that in itself, this is not a small thing. Otherwise, there is so much love of an institution. The institution is always concerned about its own image, that somewhere or the other, they always try to color their own ideas and impose their own ideas. But CFR has always tried to save itself continuously and has brought all the aspects together and presented them before everybody. This is something for which I would like to congratulate CFR from my heart. Dr. Haass has had a very good relationship with India, and in the last decade, the relationship between India and US has been given an impetus, and in that, Dr. Haass has played a very important role. When Vajpayee was in government, at that time he had played a very important role. And the entire government has always remembered his contribution in a very positive way. And even today, I would like to express my gratitude to Dr. Haass for this. As Dr. Haass just told us, that after 30 years, for the first time in India, a government has been elected with full absolute majority. And that party, which was always in the opposition, such a party has come to power. And for the first time in India, such a person has got the opportunity to become the Prime Minister who was born in independent India. So far, all the Prime Ministers that have been in our country were born in the British era. And that is why I'm a person who did not get the opportunity to see the days of slavery. I was born, and as soon as I was born, I took my first breath in the democracy. And in each breath of mine, there is democracy. And because of my firm faith in democracy, today a person of very humble grounding has come to the highest office. This is the power of democracy. This is the first time that we got absolute majority. And because of that, almost 2 generations who had been sitting there keeping all their expectations and aspirations, suddenly there has been a boil. And every single youth in India who is about 40 to 45-year-old today, from the age of 10 to the age of 40, he has only seen instability, disappointment, that kind of an atmosphere is all he has seen. And when this situation has come, it is natural. His expectations have risen a lot. And to fulfill those expectations is our duty. India is a very wide country. To understand its election is also a very difficult task. We want that our economy should move forward on the basis of three pillars: agriculture, manufacturing, and service sector. And we want to balance all three. In our entire economy, 30% contribution should be from agriculture, 30 from manufacturing, and 30 from service sector. If there is a point or so here and there, then the country's economy should not suffer. This is the direction in which we want to go. When we talk about manufacturing, we try to create a trust in Make in India. We are telling the world.
So I just left some high representatives of India. They're growing at 8%. China is growing at 7%, and that for them is a catastrophically low number. We are growing. Our last report came out, and it's right around the 1% level, and I think it's going down. Last week, as you know, at the end of last week, they came out with an anemic jobs report, a terrible jobs report. In fact, I said, is that the last jobs report before the election? Because if it is, I should win easily. It was so.
The pundits like to talk about the battle of the systems between China and India. If there is a battle of the systems, and I think it is in large measure true, who is winning that battle?
Well, I mean, as we all come, I would assume, from the Enlightenment, human rights, democracy, market economy camp, I would say, in the long run, democracy, respect for rule of law, human rights, distribution of power, market economy will win. I cannot prove it until now, but I believe that you cannot have a good economic development where the state decides on the markets. So I'm quite positive that in the medium and long term, the Indian system will prove superior.
Democracy, a democratic system can be in certain respects a weakness of a country, because you have to go through different decision-making processes, but that's where the strength of India lies. And back in the 80s, there were a lot of criticism about India, that India does not take decisions, that the businessman would complain. This is not happening, whereas you could go to China and do everything possible. But I think, on the whole, even the business community is realizing that it is not enough to have a political leadership in a country which decides this way or that way, but to also have a sustainable system where you can look forward to a fruitful cooperation in the coming years. And that's what Modi has been trying to bring in during his visits to France, to Germany, and now to Canada.
Christian Wagner, is it the Indian elephant or the Chinese dragon?
For me, it's also in the long term the Indian elephant. Why? China has already a globalized economy, yes, but faces enormous political problems to cope with all the domestic challenges. India is facing an opposite dilemma. India has to globalize its economy. Yes, this will create enormous problems, but India is already fit to deal with all the political challenges, because for over 60 years, India is facing all the kind of minority conflict, social questions, and they have developed a very strong institutional setting, despite all the problems that we have discussed. So this will give the Indian system in the long term a much greater stability, also to improve its economic development.
जब आप हिंदुस्तान के साथ अपने आप को देखते हैं तो इंडियन इकॉनमी इस वक्त ग्रो कर रही है 8%, 7%, एंड दे थिंक दे कैन ग्रो टू इवन 10% एंड बियॉन्ड. और पाकिस्तान की इकॉनमी जो है वो 3.5, 4.5, गवर्नमेंट कहती है 4.7. इफ़ यू डू अ रियलिस्टिक असेसमेंट तो इट्स प्रॉब्ली 3.5. तो वो ग्रोथ रेट जब इतना डिफरेंस आपका और हिंदुस्तान का आता है तो उसको अगर आप प्रोजेक्ट करें तो यू बाय 2050, क्योंकि 2050 को कहते हैं एशियन सेंचुरी जो है ना, 2050 में एशियन की सेंचुरी शुरू हो जाएगी, वेयर एशिया विल डोमिनेट द वर्ल्ड इकोनॉमी. बट 2050 में अगर यही ट्रेंड्स रहे कि पाकिस्तान 3.5-4% पे ग्रो करे, हिंदुस्तान 8% प्लस पे ग्रो करे, तो उनकी इकॉनमी हमसे कोई 40 गुना बड़ी इकॉनमी हो जाएगी. इस वक्त इंडिया की इकॉनमी हमारे से 7 गुना बड़ी है, and we can manage this ratio. Lekin once it gets to being 40 times larger than us,
India, he needs foreign investment, but so, in tough times like these, does everybody else. When the Chinese president came last month, he arrived with promises of inward investment here. Narendra Modi will arrive this week, trailing rhetoric of an economic miracle in India, but that depends on inward investment there, not here.